Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to react to a recent video from Dad Challenge Podcast. This is his second take on Maia Knight, and some of you asked me about my opinions, and I have no idea what he did in this video because some of y'all are mad and some of y'all are like, oh, he actually made some good points. So we're gonna react to it together. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so if you're not familiar with why I'm even reacting to this video, it's because a couple of weeks back, Josh at Dad Challenge Podcast decided to absolutely drag and annihilate Maia Knight, who is a really overnight success kind of mommy influencer on TikTok. And I made a video and I defended her because I felt like his language and the way that he was speaking about her was unnecessary. And I've always stood on the side of you can have really strong opinions about someone and you don't have to bash them, name call, completely just like basically say that CPS needs to be called on her. I felt like he didn't do his research. And if I'm guessing correctly, this is probably him either trying to backpedal or doubling down. Sometimes it's a complete guessing game with this guy because I will be transparent as I always am. He has made really good points in the past. But again, I think that your argument gets completely canceled once you start to act the way that he does with the constant name calling, the constant bullying. And we're not even covering the fact that he has doxed multiple YouTubers, putting them in harm's way, all because he disagrees with said YouTuber. So you don't like this person, so you're going to dox their information and literally make these people scared to be in their own home. That's how Dad Challenge Podcast rolls, but I am going to try to be really unbiased in this video and not do what he does, which is, I don't like you, so I'm going to disagree with everything that you say. And we're going to see what he has to offer in take 2 of Maia Knight. So let's get into the show. The title of his video says, "Proof that Maia Knight is a negligent parent. Did she give them margaritas? Maia fans take a seat." So it's probably going to be the latter, that he's doubling down and not backpedaling. Who knows? But I am going to put this at 1.5 times speed because I don't want to keep you guys here for an hour if I can avoid it. Can't make any promises. This guy needs to be talked about, and I know that everyone sees the light at their own speed. I took a while to see the issues with him myself. So I think that as his platform is growing, his ego has grown right there alongside of his subscriber count. And this is someone who thinks that just because you disagree with someone, it gives you a ticket to bully them. And that is not how commentary works. So Josh, if you happen to be watching this video, because I know you claim you don't watch the detractors talk about you, but I call bullshit. If you are watching this video, check your ego, because people are seeing your ego. They're having a massive problem with your ego. And that's why people are calling you out. Nobody's jealous. I can't speak for literally every single person, but most of us have just seen through your hypocrisy and through your veil of, oh, I care about this message. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, his channel has put him in a position where he is financially secure based on his own words and his own testament. So we know what it's all about. People are not just hating on you because you have quote unquote 100K subs. Congrats on that. But again, you missed the mark with putting out these crazy allegations just because your big ego can't take a little bit of negative criticism.
We're talking about Maia Knight again. Lots of people have been messaging me a lot of her videos. There is a lot of content to go through when it comes to Maia Knight. One of the reasons I use Maia specifically for large examples because she's got a massive following on TikTok and she's a bad mom. The end. I don't care.
So he says that she's a bad mom. Again, hasn't really given any context as to why he's doubling down in this video. But what I will say is she does have a lot of content to go through. And what I did was before I made my video, I tried to educate myself a little bit so that I knew kind of what I was talking about. Like, who is this girl? What's her backstory? When you come onto your channel and you start throwing out crazy theories and you get your audience really hype and really upset by what you're saying, that is abusing your platform. As commentary channels on YouTube, most of us that have a fair amount of integrity or respect for our platforms at least try to do a fair amount of research. Now, I understand that everyone has bad takes. I've had my own as well, but I've used those opportunities to actually grow. And because I had a misstep in the past, I did what I did with Maia Knight. I looked back at her TikTok videos and watched a lot of them for myself, because when you come onto your platform and do this kind of rumor mill, conspiracies, and gossip, that is not utilizing your platform for good as you claim you want to do. As commentary channels, we have the responsibility to at least try to look into the topics that we're getting ready to talk about. And I don't care if he's busy or whatever. Allegedly, he's only working 1 day a week at his real job because YouTube is paying him that much. And great for you. That's awesome. But the problem is that if you want to take YouTube seriously, you have to put in the due diligence to look into the topics that you're going to talk about that day. And if you need more time, then maybe you shouldn't be a daily uploader so that you can take the time out of your day to research the subjects that you're going to talk about. So then you don't put out conspiracy theories about actual people. Even if you disagree with every single thing that these people are doing on TikTok, Instagram, when it comes to family vlogging and mommy vlogging, I disagree with the kids being on there too. But at the same time, I can still treat people with respect when I'm delivering my message, because I can say I don't agree with anything that you're doing here, while also not spreading misinformation, conspiracies, and gossip, and then wanting the respect that commentary channels a lot of times receive when they handle the topics with care.
But she's leaving the door open for so many other moms to be bad moms. And the craziest part of this whole Maia Knight, depths in which her fans are willing to go to protect her and to like stand up for her and all this stuff, with the proof staring them right in the face. So let's get to it.
As far as him saying that she's allowing other moms to be bad moms, I disagree with that, because as a parent, if you are that influenced by the people that you're watching on social media, then maybe you need to take a social media break and cut it off for a little while, because most people know how to parent their kids. They know what works for their kids, and what works for this child might not work for this child. If he wants to sit there and degrade people's intelligence and their ability to watch mommy vloggers and not copy everything that they do and not be influenced by them, you know, he insults people's intelligence all the time. And I wonder if that is just deflection because he might be the ignorant one here. But most people that are watching mommy vloggers are not saying, oh, well, she let her kid eat cake for breakfast, so I'm going to let my kid eat cake for breakfast. And that's categorized as being a bad mom. I don't understand that. Being a bad mom is a lot of different things. To just veil the entire statement and say that she's, you know, leaving the door open makes no sense to me.
Today we're going to talk about a couple of things. First, we're going to dive into this idea that she leaves her kids in their cribs for hours at a time, which, no, Don't care. Don't do it. And the Reddit thread actually has some good points, some good comments made, specifically from kids who went through this type of thing. So I'm going to try to attempt to show you guys today that she is not an attentive mother. She's actually a bad mother. And I promise I won't make fun of her. I will just focus on her parenting. How about that? I want to address first the drinking thing. Now,
this is what I wish that he would do all the time is you don't have to make fun of people. There might be some of his subscribers that really love that the insults that he delivers and when he's acting like a bully. But many of us got tired of the bullying and the hateful remarks about these parents. And I've heard it from so many of my own subscribers as well, saying initially his presence was different than what it is now. His snark has only gotten darker and more cruel over time. And there's only so long that you can hold on to, well, he has a good message, but his delivery is being an outright bully asshole, on the internet. That can only carry you so far. And that's why so many videos are being made about this guy. That's why so many subscribers are messaging YouTubers that aren't Dad Challenge podcasts to say, this is my situation. I was a subscriber for a year and a half and I saw the things that you see. I had to unsubscribe because of XYZ. So you can have a really good message. What happened with him specifically is that the means stopped justifying the end goal. And he just turned into a bully.
now, if you go through Maia's videos, and I haven't, because I don't have that kind of time. A lot of people accuse me of not knowing enough about the people that I talk about. Well, I don't have time to watch their content. My benchmark for covering somebody is this. Do you exploit your children for money? Can I prove it?
Maybe you should take the time to do more research, Josh. That was your problem with the Gabby Petito situation, is you turned endless live streams into a place where you were throwing out insane conspiracy theories about a dead girl, capitalizing off of that dead girl, collecting super chats off of that dead girl's name. And you did so many live streams. It wasn't one or two educated videos based off of the facts that were coming out from authorities. It was just it was like a bunch of like middle schoolers playing armchair detective. It was disgusting. And that's when people started to see through you and saw that it was all about the money. It was about, how can I make sure that I'm getting as much as I can out of this channel? And even if that means exploiting a dead girl and spreading dangerous conspiracy theories, then he was okay with doing that. And then he lied about where the funds were allegedly going. All he does is he does and says what he wants. Then, if and when he gets called out for it, he will either lie, backpedal, or double down. And that's what I said earlier. If you want to be a commentary channel on YouTube and you feel like you don't have the time, then maybe you need to cut back on your upload schedule. Because as this train continues to derail, it's only going to get worse. And it's only going to damage more people and more people's mental health and their safety and their well-being. Because he has become so derailed. His original message is like over here and he's like way out here at this point. If you're going to be a commentary channel on YouTube, it requires I wouldn't even say a large amount. Depending on the topic, it can require a small or a fair amount of research. You know, nobody expects you to be a historian, but if you're going to come onto your channel and be so irate with this mom, the bare minimum that he could have done is take, 2 hours, an hour and a half, and go through her older TikToks? Bare minimum. And he has his little army of stans that will help him too. And that's who's sending him all of this information about Maia Knight. Are those women? I say women, maybe a few men, but he said before 97% of his audience is female. So they're the ones that are just like salivating at the next video and what the next insults are going to be and what the next piece of information that can be dug up. So they send him this stuff and they know that he's unhinged in a lot of ways. And he'll just run right onto his channel and blast it all over like it's fact. Look what happened with the Cleo Smith case. This isn't someone who had one bad take and people just aren't letting it go. This is someone who has had many bad takes and hardly ever will come back and say, I got this all wrong and this is what I'm going to do to fix it and it won't happen again. Or I will do my best to make sure it doesn't happen again. None of that happens with this guy.
That's it. And I've done that in spades already with Maia Knight. I haven't even gone through a tenth of her videos yet. And I've got tons of people sending me more and more videos about the problematic things. You know, of the millions of people that follow her, the haters that she's accumulated, which is a lot by now, are already combing through every effing video. They already found racism in her family and her best friend. So if you don't think anything worth talking about, it is. Now, do I want to see Maia canceled? No. What I would love to see is Maia Knight take her kids off of the internet. Maybe in passing, sure. But
he wants to see family vloggers canceled. That's what his goal has been from the get-go. Now, I think right now he's trying to be a little bit more neutral just because people are upset. But that has been the goal. He has vocalized it many times. You cannot say that you don't want someone canceled and then you dox YouTubers. To me, those two just don't coexist. You don't say, oh, I'm not about cancel culture, but I am about putting YouTubers in harm's way because I don't like them. Those two can't coexist. Josh is about cancel culture. Whether or not he wants to admit it, which clearly he's not going to, but this is someone who has consistently gone real life. And I would say the worst of all of those is doxing YouTubers that just he happens to disagree with.
Not make the content about the children. We're a year in now and people are celebrating these kids' birthday like they're their own kids. All you have to do is go to Maia Knight's videos and look at the comment section to be scared to death of what parasocial relationships look like online. It's real, it's dangerous, it's scary. And Maia doesn't seem to care, even though there's so many people calling her out.
You know what's really scary, Josh, is doxing people. You want to talk about, kids being in harm's way and how scary social media is? Let's talk about you doxing Brianna K. Leaving that up for ages. Who knows how many people have her home address now? Because it took so long for you to actually correct your fucking mistake. Secondly, let's talk about you doxing APOC, who has a 2-year-old child in his home. All that you need to know is someone's full name, and you can find a ton of information on someone. Especially now with the internet and how it ties out to social media and Google, and there's all kinds of stuff. You can find out a lot with someone's full name. So I get it. Social media is scary, but I can say that because I'm not doxing anyone. And I would never put anyone that I talk about on my channel in real life danger, period. And that's not a, conspiracy. That's a statement. And I will stand on that until the very last day that I'm on YouTube. Whenever that is, who knows? Anyone that I talk about, I will never, ever, ever jeopardize their safety.
But I want to show you this one, so where she admits to being negligent. This is them at a bar.
Situation right now.
This is a situation. We're drinking with our kids at the bar.
Uncle Aiden is going to come to us.
So she just said her brother is going to come pick them up because they are too inebriated to drink. And I saw one White Claw there, so they're having cocktails or whatever you call it.
He meant to drive, I'm sure.
I just also don't, I understand if you're going out to I understand if you're taking your kids out, you're having dinner, you're having a drink with dinner. I get that. Like lots of people do that. I don't, but lots of people do that. But they go out to drink with their kids. It's not like you're eating. You're just drinking. That's all they're doing. And Maia Knight drinks a lot.
How do you know that she's not eating, first of all? I didn't see anything to say that there wasn't food on the table. I will look again in a second. But either way, so let's talk about drinking at dinner, because this is something that is so socially accepted. And to me, I see no difference in going to a brewery in the evening or, whatever, and having a beer versus having a glass of wine with dinner. Why is it that wine And I'd love to hear from you guys on this. Why is it that wine is so much more acceptable than other alcohol? Oh, I'm going to have a glass of wine with dinner. We went to this fancy restaurant. You're still taking in alcohol. And I don't know about you guys, but wine gets me fucked up. I can have 2 beers and feel the same as if I have a small glass of wine. Maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know. But wine is so accepted where it's like, who cares if it's a brewery or a fancy restaurant, wine versus beer? If we're going to talk about it, let's just talk about the subject of drinking when you have kids in your possession.
She's got TikToks where she's like, get drunk one night, have unprotected sex. Look what I got. She celebrates it like Jess fam. It's a big flex for them for some reason. But she doesn't, Maia Knight will not tell you this because
I don't see her celebrating it like Jess fam. This is the thing that I got upset about in the last video that he did. Can we stop making the comparisons? Because to me, if we're going to focus on Maia and her shortcomings or whatever, let's just focus on her. Jess fam is a completely different situation, at least in my mind. Maybe he's just saying that because so much of his audience hates Jess fam, so he knows that it will correspond to Maia. I'm not sure. I don't see her bragging about having unprotected sex and having kids. I actually see her being a realist about it. Sometimes I think that the sounds on TikTok can make people take a TikTok video and think that it's like making light or poking fun, but it just so happens to be the sound. I don't know. But to me, I don't see her flexing or making light of it. I think that she's a realist and she talks about it because it's obviously a large part of her life.
Can't, but she has, and this is what so many people have been saying, allegedly has a big drinking problem. And so many people struggle with this. So I'm not pointing it out to say, oh, you're a jerk for having a drinking problem. If you have a drinking problem, you need to get help, is what I'm saying. Stop hiding it, because in the end, who are you going to hurt? But let's continue.
I don't think that we should ever put these kinds of allegations on somebody saying that, oh, they might have a drinking problem, oh, they might have a drug problem. He literally just said he didn't know shit about Maia Knight, and now he's gotten a few clips and some info and some stuff on Reddit, and he's literally making people think that, oh, she probably has a drinking problem. I'm not going to put a label on it, but I'm going to put it out there so that my subscribers know what I'm thinking.
We've only had one. This is only our second place, actually, so we're fine. But
so this is our second place, that's what she said, and we're fine. But she's calling her brother to come get them because she's being responsible, right? So we can give her props for that. She's had one, but doesn't feel comfortable driving. I want you to remember that.
Obviously, can't drive.
Obviously can't drive.
That's kind of mean to pick on Mom's double chin. Also, Miss Scout spilled half of Auntie Jillian's wine, so she didn't.
For some reason, Maia's really good at pouring alcohol on her kids. If you're in a situation where I've seen 2 videos already where you've poured alcohol on your kids, that's what I consider trashy. This is a trashy thing to do. Taking your kids to a bar, and it's not a restaurant, that's a bar. Taking toddlers to a bar, and look, they poured wine out of them, and she's cracking White Claws and pouring White Claws on her kids by accident. I'm just saying.
The whole thing with pouring alcohol on her kids, that's not okay. But let's not make it like she's actually pouring alcohol on her kids, because that sounds insane. Who would do that? But spilling and pouring are 2 completely different things. Now, I am not saying that it's okay, but one is a mistake and one isn't. So let's not make it like, her kids are out here just having alcohol poured over their heads every single day on purpose. The kid's head is a target and she's over here pouring the alcohol on it. You know what I mean? Spilling and pouring are 2 completely different things, but obviously he, wants everyone to completely despise her. So why would he give an ounce of credit or just, people are like, oh, she needs to have CPS called on her because she poured alcohol on her kids. Can we stop wasting CPS as a resource for mommy vloggers? There are actual kids that are being harmed very, very, very badly. CPS workers are completely overwhelmed. And people like Josh and the people that he has completely brainwashed are the type to see clips like this and actually call CPS. Because as we know, he is someone who encourages and is okay with going real life. And if we've gotten to the point where a commentary video or even a series of commentary videos is making people call CPS on a mommy vlogger, you need to sign off of the internet for the rest of your life. There is only a couple of situations where calling CPS is warranted, and that is if you actually see physical abuse on camera. Then that is your responsibility as a citizen to call. Same goes for animal abuse. But to just sit there and say, oh, well, this lady a couple times like spilled this alcohol and, I watched this video from Dad Challenge podcast, you're actually calling CPS. That is wild if you sit back and think about it.
Guys, this is not indicative of good mothering and should not be held to the standard of what you should think a mother should be. At least most of us can agree. Those who don't agree with that statement likely do exactly what she does. And again, I've said this before about Maia Knight's fans, that you attract those who are like-minded. So likely those moms who are saying this is okay, do that themselves. And yes, obviously I grew up with an alcoholic mother, and so I have trauma based on alcoholism as a young person. But some people, again, seem to think that I should not be able to have a say because of my trauma. I'm telling you, because I have trauma, my voice should have more weight because I've experienced it.
That was not nice.
As far as him not being allowed to share an opinion because he has trauma, that's completely ridiculous. The problem that people have been having is that he inserts way too much of his personal trauma and deflects it and spews it onto mommy vloggers. I think that it's great to be able to take your life experience and carry it with you as you cover topics. But to deflect and spit out everything that your mom put you through onto any mom vlogger who drinks alcohol is not being, it's not being a fair commentary channel, in my opinion. I have my own issues. And if I were to, spread that all over my channel anytime I talk about a mommy vlogger, then that would no longer make me an unbiased commentary channel because I'm inserting too much of my childhood trauma into the opinions that I'm giving on these public figures, YouTubers, and influencers. I hope that makes sense.
That was not nice of you.
Your content is garbage. Just stare at my kid for 2 seconds while I say something in the camera. It's so bad.
You guys, I always thought that I was an introvert, but
this whole thing that he does about shitting on other people's content, I go back to the fact that, Josh, you are not doing anything spectacular. Your content is not super transformative. You're not out here doing documentaries or, saving animals. Let's take the ego down a few notches. It's completely out of control. Before you shit all over her content, her shitty content is giving you content that you can line your pockets with. So I would be careful before you just annihilate every mommy vlogger's content because they have put you in a very lucky position.
I should not be out doing stuff right now. Like, I'm so tired and I've been...
Okay, so I should not be out right now. I am so tired, but you're out drinking with the kids and pouring and spilling alcohol on your babies. And you're calling your brother to come pick you up. So not only are you inebriated, you're so tired you shouldn't be out. So why are you out drinking?
I slept in 4 days.
She hasn't slept in 4 days.
But I've come to the conclusion that you can sleep when you're done.
You can sleep when you're...
If she's tired, she's tired. I don't think that that's that big of a deal personally. I've obviously had my fair share of friends that are new moms and just moms in general. It's really tiring having kids. And I'm obviously not speaking from my own experience, but my friends that have had kids, it's like, yeah, like you're tired. You're constantly tired as a parent, but you're still going to go out and socialize. Or else you're going to get into that rut where you're constantly at home and you're constantly just taking care of the kids, going to bed, taking care of the kids, going to bed. And you have to get out or you're never going to get out. And you're always tired. That is a running theme of parents.
You can sleep when you're done and you just need to party all the time.
So everybody, this influencer has over 7 million subs, says, sleep when you're dead, party instead. That rhymes, but that's her mantra. And I'm telling you guys, you think that's just a joke. It's not just a joke. We can see it in her content.
Like, I don't even get stressed about not sleeping anymore because I'm like, I can sleep tonight. I can sleep tonight.
Okay, so I wanted you to remember that because this one just came up.
Okay, we just finished their year pictures and we were driving home and we passed a bar, so obviously had to stop.
So you finish your year pictures, which everybody's been begging for. Your fans are weird. And so you see a bar. Of course you have to stop at a bar. Look, everybody, I know you think it's jokes. Nope. These aren't jokes because we have videos of proof. You do not have to stop at a bar when you pass a bar, everybody.
Let's be honest, she would have taken year pictures of her twins, whether or not she had a following on TikTok. That's just something that you do when you have kids. I'm sure that you know this from personal experience, Josh, unless you were checked out or not present for when your wife arranged to have family photos taken. I'm not sure what your deal is, but yeah, people take pictures during milestones and they go have a photo shoot. Like, that's just the thing that people do. I don't think that it has anything to do with her fans. As far as them stopping by a bar afterwards, you guys, I am not going to sit here and act like I have fake outrage because someone goes and does a photo shoot with their twins, which I'm sure was very stressful, and she wants to stop and have a drink on the way home. You know, looks like they're at a restaurant, bar, restaurant, whatever. So for me, I mean, I get it. Like, the drinking thing is a very hot topic, but to have one beer is not something to have all this like fake outrage. I need to see more. Maybe he'll say more, but I remember when I was younger, you know, my dad and I, we would be out running errands, or if we were on like vacation or something, we would go have lunch and he would have a beer. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't too fucked up to drive. You know, maybe the alcohol thing is just different to Josh because he hasn't ever had alcohol. But seriously, like, having a beer is not life-changing to me, at least.
That's not the thing you should be doing. Okay, but that's not the point of this video. Let's continue. I want you to remember the last video.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
I got a, it's like guava and orange seltzer.
Okay. Who watches this?
It's very yummy.
So bad!
Not for you, though.
Not for you, though, because it's alcoholic. Just so in case there's an argument to be made, because I read some of the comments. What if it was a non-alcoholic seltzer? It's not. Why would you stop at a bar to get non-alcoholic seltzers?
You're still being good? That's so weird. Hi.
So she's literally drinking at a bar where the kids hang out in a car seat on the floor at a bar. Guys, I don't care what you think. I mean, once in a blue effing moon? Okay, maybe. But that's the point with Maia Knight. It's not once in a blue moon.
We're gonna go to my favorite restaurant after this, and then my second favorite restaurant after that. Wow, so you can't have that.
So they're gonna go bar hopping, is what she's saying. Why would you go to multiple restaurants?
Yeah.
I don't understand bar hopping. Can't you just get the same drink at this bar, then you get another bar and all that? Why would you go to multiple restaurants, is what I'm telling you guys. She doesn't even eat. All I've ever seen her do is drink. Okay, so I wanted to point that video out real quick because it's important that you know that she says in the first video that she's had one drink, so she called her brother pick her up. And she just admitted in this video, after drinking one drink, a seltzer, that she's gonna go to another restaurant and then another restaurant. Now, she might have a taxi or an Uber or whatever say, but she doesn't point that out, she doesn't say that. So we're gonna assume that she's driving with her kids while she's inebriated. This is her friend, I think, I swear to God, I hate that I know this, I think it's Jillian, about talking about, there's just, all you do is drink.
This is my second margarita, and they're a little strong, but someone maybe get another one.
So you're being, okay, so they're really strong margaritas, and Maia made me get another one.
So,
Don't do that.
thanks, bitch.
You're so funny.
Anyone knows of a daycare to put these little shits into in Vermont, let us know.
Now, what did she just feed that baby? Did she literally just give that kid a spoonful of margarita? I hope they clarify.
Is that good?
What is it? What is it?
Is that spicy?
Clarify. Spicy.
I wanted to use this as an example. Do you see how quickly he will throw a conspiracy and just act as if that's what happened? Instead of trying to confirm, he knows that margaritas being given to a baby will piss off his fans. So he used that in his title, and he makes the assumption and sticks with it for this part of the video, instead of saying, you know, let's see, I know that I don't like Maia Knight, but there is no way that she would have given her baby a margarita on TikTok. Like, the brain power is just not there because the conspiracy theories are better for his algorithm. It'll get more views. Did she give them margaritas? Come on.
Okay, what? Unless she clarifies, I'm pretty sure she just gave her kid spoonfuls of margarita, which has alcohol in it, right? Am I crazy? Maia, you need to come out and clarify what it is you had in that spoon, and that you said the word spicy, which means alcohol-y, like alcohol burns, right? Did she honestly just feed her kid margarita? Okay, that's 3 videos that someone sent me in one email about the drinking. and then put these little shits in daycare because, you know, whatever. Funny, ha ha ha. Again, if I went through every single one of Maia's videos about drinking and put it together, it would be a 20-minute video. Okay, 30-second TikToks full of the drinking. The reason I wanted to point out the first video where she said her brother's coming to get her even though she's only had one drink and she doesn't feel, you know, she should be driving. The second video, drinking as well, and then admitting that she's going to other restaurants and then other restaurants. Doesn't say anything about her brother, and she's with her friend who's also drinking. I don't see any designated driver. The kids are too young to drive, even though the comment section would tell you, oh, the kids can drive because they think they're so funny. Maya, your fans are not funny. They're all bad. People who stand up for Maia Knight, you're bad people. You should feel bad when it comes to Maya. Okay, so the other thing that's popping in the Reddit thread right now is this idea that Maya's comment on leaving babies in cribs, and this is what she says about it.
Babies are yelling for me to come get them, so. Good morning. Oh, you are not playing dead this morning. That's so nice. What about you?
We'll come back to the bottle comment in a second. Apparently, like, there's 2 bottles in this baby's crib right now, okay? We'll talk, and you'll see in the comment section of this Reddit thread, a lot of people were saying, because I don't know a ton about this, because we never let our children lay in a crib for 2 hours every morning and give them bottles with rotten milk in them. We didn't do that because we're good parents.
Hi.
The thing that bothers me about Josh is that he constantly puts himself as like the best example. He's the best parent. He's the best YouTuber. He's the best whatever. His comments when he gets like that, where it's like, oh, rotten milk and we were good parents, so we didn't do that. Like that kind of stuff, I could do without it, but I don't want to harp on it. It's just very much, I'm better than everyone that I talk about. I am the best dad. This is also a dad who had his own child in diapers on a YouTube video. So let's halt with the fake outrage. Josh himself was a family vlogger. He was a failed family vlogger, but specifically, let's talk about a video where his child was in a diaper on YouTube.
Hi. God. Hi. We got crazy hair. We got to take a bath this morning.
Oh, she...
So, showing off that she has diarrhea, poop in her pamper, okay, and has been sitting in diarrhea for we don't know how long. Could be half the night, could be 6-7 hours, could be 2 hours. It's going to be at least an hour and a half. Watch.
But...
So why don't you change your kid's diaper before you do a TikTok? You just woke them up, or they've been up for hours. Why don't you change the diaper first? Again, negligence. This is negligence. If your first priority is to do a TikTok before you care for your children, you're doing it wrong.
This I do agree with him on. There's no reason to doing this video before she has changed her babies is irresponsible. I completely disagree with that. There is no other way to look at that for social media to take first place. I don't care what kind of video you had to make. There's no reason for your babies to have to wait so that you can make a TikTok, period.
Someone, I said yesterday that they had been upstairs in their crib for like an hour and a half, I think. But they literally do that. Like they wake up in the morning and they just sit there and like babble and talk to each other.
So she just admitted right there.
For hours.
Hours. Her kid has been sitting in its own shit for hours. That can cause lots of problems, everybody, by the way, especially in girls. You know this. Mothers out there know this. Anybody standing up for her for this is wrong. That is negligence. Now, should you have your kids taken away? No. But she just admitted she does this every day. Her kids sit in their cribs for hours babbling back and forth.
Like they don't yell for me to come get them. They don't do, like they literally are laughing. So
that's because they're conditioned to do that. Because you just let them do that. That's an important thing that she's saying there. She's like, well, they're not responsible. It's their fault for not telling me that I should come get them. She literally just blamed her 2 toddlers that they're the ones who don't want to come get seen. I promise you, if a kid is sitting in shit for hours and hours, that's really uncomfortable, really bad. So it tells me that you just do this all the time and the kids are used to it. That's all that tells me. It tells me they're used to your negligence.
I leave them up there because
why?
If they're laughing, why would I ruin that? Why would I ruin that?
Are you saying every day they just laugh for hours and hours?
When they're ready to get out, they say, Mom!
They can't talk.
Mom!
So I wanted to show you that. I thought that was really interesting because it correlates really well with this thread on Reddit, by the way. Okay, so the Reddit thread is this. Maya comments on leaving babies in cribs. And just like that, she magically addresses the issue of leaving babies in cribs by saying babies are laughing and chatting in the cribs for the hour and a half they're left there. But she said hours. She didn't say hour and a half. She said hours. 2 kids left for hours as they wake up. That's a terrible schedule, by the way, anyway. Meanwhile, 2 seconds prior, she shows a nasty explosion the poor baby had to sit on until mom decided to get her. Do better. The baby shouldn't have to entertain each other just because they're not crying doesn't mean they're not suffering. Exactly. Now, this gets interesting. I literally commented, and of course, I'm getting backlash and people accuse me of questioning her parenting. I've proven to you, this person has proven to you, we've proven to you, Maya has proven to you, okay, that she lets her kids sit in their shit for hours. And you're going to go to bat for Maya as a good parent? No. And admits she does it all the time. It's not like it's a one-off. If it was a one-off, I get it, right? I remember West had to blow it one day. And I almost barfed when I saw it because I was all the way up to his neck. And I went downstairs and like, hey, Mom, it smells weird there. You should go check it out. I made my wife go change the diaper. But we would never let our kids sit in his filth for hours.
I made my wife go change the diaper Josh totally seems like that kind of dad. That's just my personal opinion. Since he wanted to put his personal story in here, my personal opinion is that he totally seems like that kind of guy. But there's no excusing this. I will give Maia the benefit of the doubt in a lot of different things. Having a beer, go to a bar, that stuff I'm not really worried about. This, very, very bad. Not okay. There's no justifying, there's no looking at it from a different light. It's not okay.
Hours and hours, okay? If it's a one-off, I understand that, but it's not a one-off. So it says, this isn't someone on TikTok who has a unique parenting style. This is someone who's neglecting their babies and defending.
And by the way, Josh, wouldn't that be embarrassing for your son for you to be sitting on your YouTube and sharing that really gross story about when he was little? Wouldn't that be embarrassing for him? Think of your children. Think of your children before you put out these embarrassing stories on your platform.
My issue isn't really the letting them be alone, though. I don't think this is the best. It's the fact that they have poor hygiene because of her. Yes. The problem is that she knows if she goes up there and change them, then she can't leave them up there anymore because they will cry for her once she leaves. That should tell you right there that she doesn't want to have to deal with them. So she's not just letting them talk. Kids that young don't even really talk. A lot of people are saying it's independent play. But what are they playing with? Empty old bottles that were shoved in their face in the middle of the night because she gives her babies to keep them, sustained so they can stay asleep. It's not like they have been fed. It's not like they've been fed, washed, changed, and are not ready to play independently in their playpen. That is independent play. Instead, they're just waiting for their mom. Babies don't know better, and people take advantage of that so they can be lazy. Maia Knight is negligent. Independent play? Did Maia say it's independent play? No. It's her crazy stands making shit up. If you don't wake your children up when they're up, like you don't get up and go tend to your children who have shit in their diaper and peed in their diaper, I consider you a terrible person. You're negligent at best, and at worst, you're disgusting. Here it is. The baby's not crying anymore is a learned behavior. This is a great comment. Why waste time crying when it doesn't get your needs met? It's abnormal for a child, especially that age, to stay silent in that environment with no stimulation for that amount of time. They have empty bottles and bars. Look at the behavior of babies in orphanages. I can echo this. Sister and I were orphanage babies, and neither of us cried until we were about 2 to 3 years old. We were adopted at 1. We knew crying wouldn't do shit for us, so we just didn't do it. Mom, of course, freaked the F out because she thought something was wrong because we didn't cry. Someone else said that's what I said. I got a reply saying they're bottles, not bombs. Excuse me, what? They are bacteria-ridden, God knows how old milk bottles. Independent play is great for kids, but it also is not just taking them out of their cribs. My baby woke up before me this morning, which is rare, and he chilled for 5 minutes while I went to the bathroom and made his bottle. He wasn't crying, but I still got him and changed him and started the day. The fact that she pushes off getting them for so long makes it seem like she dreads having to start her parenting day. I'm not excited every morning. Some days are exhausting, and I'm essentially a single parent. Those babies will see the videos and come to conclusions that we do. Amen. And some other comments. The thing is, why even record this stuff for the world to see? If she didn't want backlash, which she knows will happen, why put it out there? I honestly believe that she likes the provocative nature of what she's doing. More engagement, more money. Someone else said the fact that she saw the blowout and continued to film was disgusting. It's honestly bizarre to me how she defends it. They're babies. They can't get up out of their own cribs on their own. They have no choice. They can't speak coherent sentences to let her know when they're ready to be taken out of their crib. She picked them up, brought them downstairs, and started recording while they're covered in shit. Everyone's saying with their whole chest, when they're ready, they will let her know. That's the comment section, and we'll go. Maybe we'll check it out. Someone says, and she loves to comment on how smelly it is in their room every morning. Like, okay, you leave them marinating in feces and old milk, so yeah. Also, I'm cracking up at her fans' comments saying babies need to learn how to be independent. What? I love this comment section. It's full of people that have their head on straight. Everybody thinks that Maia's in the threads reading. She is in these threads reading. They're like, oh, hey, Maia, take care of your cheaty kids. Again, another comment. What are the girls playing with? Dirty bottles? They're independently playing what? They're conversating because they have each other. That's all they have. The mother is negligent. So I want to go over to the TikTok real quick and read. I want to read some of these comments to you because it's absolutely disgusting. So here's the comment section. And in every comment that she has, and it's not like it's getting old or anything. Hi, vodka. They're always scotch and vodka. It's always scotch and vodka. The joke's old. Move on to something else. You're all bad at this. So Kelly Fortier writes, nothing wrong with letting them have a good time. Kelly Fortier, you're wrong and dumb, and I hope you're not a mom. They're not having a good time. These kids are conditioned.
I don't even care about the stupid nickname thing anymore. It is old, but I would focus my annoyance and my outrage at what he just shared, because that should be the focal point of why people are upset, annoyed, outraged, at Maia as a parent. The nickname thing is stupid. I could take it or leave it. It doesn't bother me that much. Definitely focus on bigger things.
To know that even if they cry out because they have a shitty diaper, it doesn't matter because their mom won't come get them. Their mother, who's supposed to be protecting them, cleaning them, helping them, is ignoring them. It's conditioning. It's crazy. I was a nanny for twins, and it's totally normal. Oh, okay, well, I hope you're not working anymore. Marie says, everyone has their own parenting opinions and beliefs. Well, I think that most parents should have the opinion that letting your kids stew in shit for 2 hours is not a good thing. That's not a parenting hack or skill. That is negligence, because it can cause diseases. I love these comments. Sierra Lee writes, me and my twin did that. You don't need to be with your baby 24/7. Give them space. Are you kidding me? Babies literally need care 24/7 or they'll die. You idiots. Again, this is who she's attracting to her channel. These are people who say they're parents. I'm so scared that parents are like this. Because obviously I went through this kind of crap, and I'm so scared that kids are absolutely going through this right now. Rode writes this video shows the baby in her arms sitting on her shit, and she's not complaining because she's used to it. And then someone writes they probably do get bad diaper rashes. And I love these comments. Jen writes this, you sure assume a lot about kids that aren't yours. You should try not worrying about what someone else does with their own kids. It's not your business. Yet here you are, Jen, watching other people's children on TikTok.
I think what's happening with a lot of her fans is that they are ignoring the problems because they like her so much. It's not even that she's attracting trashy people like he wanted to say. It's just people that have a huge bias because they really like her. And you can really like someone and you can still call them out on their shit, especially when it's something this sensitive and this detrimental for young kids who cannot do anything for themselves.
Like it's your business. And you're standing up for them. What business of yours if someone says, hey, maybe you shouldn't let your kids stew in shit for 2 hours and get rashes? Who are you, Jen? You idiot. And here's a weird comment from Louise Moriarty. I can't wait till they can speak to me. They're not going to speak to you, Louise. You're nasty and weird. And please stop commenting on other people's families. Someone says, girl, what? These comments. That's good for them to lay in the crib just talking. If they aren't screaming their heads off, then...
Josh's entire existence online is commenting on other people's families, other people's parenting. And even if I agree with a lot of the points, yeah, like this commenter is a little weird, but you do the exact same thing.
Then there isn't anything wrong with it. It teaches. It teaches what? It teaches the independent play. Again, this is the comment about the independent play. Someone says, yes, self-regulation is important. Starts at infancy. Self-regulation. They're toddlers. They can't even stop shitting themselves. Who are these people? Good morning, Scotch and Vodka. I hate you. Desiree Grimmer writes, it's healthy for them to sit together without mom and talk. Don't let anybody tell you different. Yeah, it would be healthy. You know, kids should have independent play, but not at the expense of the morning when they need to be getting up to the routine and not stewing in literal feces with old bottles. What don't you get about this? And then someone says, smeared shit definitely looks healthy. Yeah, this one writes, literally no one cares that she lets them have alone time. It's leaving them in soiled diapers for hour plus at a time. She says a couple hours too, by the way. She can change them and leave. But someone said, right, she doesn't change them because as soon as she walks into that room to change their diaper or whatever, those kids are going to be like, okay, we're done. She does that on purpose. She leaves them alone on purpose because as soon as she appears, then she knows she has to take them out of the cribs. So she does what she does on the internet, and then before she changes and before she takes care of her children, she literally makes a TikTok. The Ellis Island writes, never disturb happy babies. Do you think this baby's happy sitting in shit? And then this person says, dirty diapers can cause rashes and infection. And then Ellis Island says, well, obviously don't leave them sitting in filth. Well, she did. Did you see that? Again, well, if they're uncomfortable, they'll let her know. Chill, dude. They're not newborns. Oh my God, these people. I hope you don't have kids. Are you honestly going to sit there and tell us? If they're uncomfortable, they'll let her know. They don't speak. Again, these kids are conditioned to not do that because they know their mom's not going to come. These people are they're crazy. Oh, good one. The only issue that
I think a lot of her followers are just young and very stupid. So you have some of them who just have a bias and will excuse anything that she does. It's like stan culture. It's like a lot of people excuse a lot of the stuff that Josh does, even if it puts other people in direct harm's way in real life. But I think a lot of her other followers are just very young and ignorant, and they shouldn't be making comments like this, but they're going to because it's TikTok. It's a public social media platform. But I think it's a little bit of both. Young people who are not parents that are just ignorant, and then the other ones might be parents, but they have a bias. And like I said, you can really like someone and there is no reason why this type of behavior should ever be excused.
Could potentially see is that they could have pooped and they're sitting in it for hours. Obviously, they'd have a rash. So you'd want, it gets cut off here. I hate TikTok comment sections, man. They're so dumb. User bunch of numbers says, if a baby poops at like 8 p.m. in the night and doesn't wake up all night, would you wake the baby to change them? Yes. Yes, you would. Yep, you would. What? Yeah, are you saying that people don't? Yes. Man, maybe we're different. My wife and I checked on our kids like every 30 minutes when they were young. My wife still checks on our kids in their beds when she goes to bed. 10 years later, we still check on our children. If I went in and take out the empty bottles and smelt it, yes, I would change her, but she doesn't check on them. Amen. She doesn't check on them. She's made multiple videos saying she can't sleep a lot because she keeps checking them. Yeah, okay, I don't believe you. Again, someone says that she checks on them all night. Okay, well, here's your proof that she doesn't. Going off your logic, if she's up all night checking on them, her bedroom on first floor, why not take the nasty bottles down with her? She's not checking on them, or she would remove the bottles and check their diapers. She doesn't check on them. Okay, just reading all the comments, it's like, nothing wrong with the way you're doing it. This seems good. And that's the scary part about this whole thing. That's the scary part about influencer culture. Maia Knight influences millions of people who honestly have, and we have proof in the comment section, that they honestly believe what she's doing is good parenting. Now, the scariest part about that is that they will then, if they don't have kids, will think that this is normal parenting and will then do that with their children. And it's not normal. It's not right. It is abusive.
Like I said before, nobody should allow an influencer to literally influence things that they are doing in their real day-to-day life. I know that it happens. It shouldn't. But this is what I'm talking about. You know, this video, especially the second half, I agree with his points. Like, how could you disagree with the points that he made? And this is what I'm talking about. He can make a good argument against some things, but everything else just creates this black cloud around this little point that he actually made. And that's why a lot of people have tuned out. Before, it was like the message was a lot bigger and there might have been a little bit of cloudiness around it for some people. But at this point, even if I agree with, 80% of this video, that still doesn't take away from the fact that he has bullied people, degraded them, literally encouraged people to call CPS, gone real life, put people in danger, annihilated people's character, defamed them. And one day, I think Josh is going to with the wrong person. I remember a while ago, this was probably about a year and a half ago, maybe just a little more. It was when he was very new to the Micah situation, and that's the only mommy vlogger that he had talked about. People said, oh, he's like the male version of Without a Crystal Ball. And I looked and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, where do you guys see that? And maybe those people were just, I don't know, good at telling the future, or I don't know what it was, but he has proven that he will spread misinformation. He will lie. He will clickbait. He will defame people, and he will absolutely drag you for his financial benefit. What I've always said is sometimes you can give a platform to a really dangerous person. And I think that that's what has happened with Josh. His size of his platform, whether or not he's allegedly conspiracy theory bought subscribers, I don't know, if that's fact or not. I will say the numbers don't make a whole lot of sense though. But when you give someone like this a platform, as the number grows, so does the ego. And I think it's a combo of two things with him. I think the ego was always there, but he was better at hiding it. But it's also combined with it actually growing because his audience has actually grown. So I obviously agree with the second part of his video. As far as getting super duper upset about her going to have a beer or two, I don't see that that's a really big deal. She has made it very clear that she calls someone if she needs a ride home. And, at the end of the day, she's a single mom. And as far as her being tired, I am sure that that's a normal thing in her house. But you should never be too tired and then you're vocalizing that you're too tired, but then you watch the second half of the video and you see actual negligence and putting a TikTok above taking care of her children. That is not okay. So that's going to be it for this little reaction. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you think about all of it, but what do you think about having young kids at a bar or a restaurant if you're having a drink or two? What do you think about the whole spilling alcohol thing? Is really a hot button issue with her, and I think that there should be you need to distinguish between spilling and pouring, because if you listen to Dad Challenge podcast, he does word it as if she's just over here like pouring bottles of alcohol on her kids, and that is the type of statement that can get an audience really pissed off. And you have vocalized that you're okay with going real life. Your audience is okay with going real life, some of them, and that can end in disaster. And then of course, let me know what you think about the negligent piece of this, because that was the part of the video that I can fully stand behind. I do not support Josh. I don't support his channel, but I obviously support the fact that she is being negligent in some manners, and that cannot be disputed. So either way, for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.